Good day. Loki's over here trying to get some free food off of me. But today I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about the markets. The heck? Oh, he has one of his toys. That's why he's so happy. A little bit about the markets here, the time to buy, time to sell, that type of stuff. Really, the time I get to buy, I guess, was when we retested that level of support yesterday. But we'll be talking about what happens next. This new uptrend that we find ourselves on, and maybe, what's it going to look like if we either break out or break down? Then we have some news to talk about. There's been a lot of drama around Capitol Hill. And, I'm not going to talk too much, I don't think, about what's happening with Speaker McCarthy or former Speaker McCarthy and interim Speaker McHenry. But I do think it's important to talk about how, because of all this stuff going down, we're most likely going to be going into a shutdown here pretty soon. And with the new daily candle that just popped up here, should have some more volatility that will make your lives a little bit easier, especially if you guys are day traders. Long-term traders, you guys might have to wait a little bit more, but we'll see how this pops up, okay? So, as far as the market's concerned right now, over the last few days, a few important things have happened, okay? So, we all know that we broke out and we got rejected off of a couple levels of resistance. The first day of the breakout, we got rejected by this 200 daily moving average. If I go over here to the weekly charts, you guys can also see we were having some trouble with the 20 and the 200 weekly moving averages. In fact, the crazy thing is we actually managed to break out above them. That's why we had such a strong weekly candle. We ended up breaking out above the 200 and above the 20 weekly moving averages. Usually that means we would continue to move higher going into next week, but because of the way it kind of was so close, unfortunately, the way it kind of worked out was the new weekly candle opened up in between both the 20 and the 50, the 20 and the 200, which usually means volatility in one way or another. What I think we're hoping for at this point in time is, if I go back over here to the daily chart, is we're hoping for the classic dip and rip after a breakout. This has happened a lot of times in the past. You guys know if we're looking for a breakout, a lot of times we break out, come back down to test out support, usually not this volatile of a fashion, and then we try to go higher moving forward, okay? At this point, I would still be long Bitcoin. The only way I'm going to be selling any of the longs that I've taken are probably if we break down maybe back down to $27,000 or so. If you guys have scaled out a little bit, that's going to be good. Again, the second day here, we managed to break out above both the moving averages on the weekly charts and the daily charts here. And then we hit that next level of resistance, which was that old level of support from all the way back over there of August. So what are you guys hoping for right now? There's two things I'm looking at, and it kind of depends on which way you think the overall market is moving. And by that, I mean the stock market here. So let me just take a few seconds to go over that. Now, as far as the NASDAQ and everything right here, we're most likely going to have to look at this in the weekly charts. And hey, Trev, Jonathan, and Nicholas, hope you guys are all doing well. I would be looking at a lot of these charts on the weeklies, just because a lot of these Fibonacci levels are much more resilient when you look at the weekly chart. And when we have shown weakness on the daily charts, it really hasn't been having too much of an effect, which has been kind of annoying. But it's what we have to deal with right now, okay? So, as far as the overall market, if you guys haven't been watching the news, all of a sudden the sky is falling again. I don't think I was screaming alarm bells a few weeks ago, like the last couple months, but I was basically telling you when CNBC and Fox News and Bloomberg had all their experts on, the panel saying buy here, buy here, buy here. Or I guess it was more over here as we kind of popped back up. I was saying, it'd be good for a day trade, but they were talking about holding for another couple months after you buy here. That didn't sound to me like a really good idea. And the reason is, we're still seeing the interest rate cycle kind of cause some pain here. We're seeing bonds go up, rates go up, everything is going crazy right now. But one of the things that's happened since then is we have had this breakdown on a number of different assets classes, okay? Or let me just call it indexes. So, NASDAQ, it's broken down officially. Dow Jones, it broke down officially. Even if you guys want to go to something like this, it still broke down, okay? SPY, let me get rid of the Fibonacci levels here. You can see just broke down right here. And so we're most likely going to be looking more bearish over the next few weeks, if not months, okay? Now, that doesn't mean we can't pop back up. It doesn't mean, you can't have some good calls in here and get some good puts in there overall. But the overall shift has happened where we're no longer thinking about just going up. Now we're either thinking of two different things. a sideways consolidation or a sideways consolidation that kind of ends up in more of a breakdown here, okay? And we have to find those support levels in order to find that secondary breakdown. Our uptrend is over, but that doesn't mean we can't go sideways for a little bit and try to find some support. I'm hoping we can find some support here, guys. I know I've kind of been more pessimistic about this whole year than maybe I should be, but that's just because I still see like a recession on the horizon. So any of the longs, like remember when we bought Facebook after it crashed and we made good profit with that, my PXD call with the long-term dividend play, stuff like that. A lot of my plays have been doing okay. I didn't buy as much as I wanted to because I wanted to see the market come down even more last year. But I still think that pain that Jerome Powell has been talking about, it's going to come. But I think what happened was the market just got on this fever dream of, oh my gosh, we're not even going to have a recession. Everything is perfectly fine. When in reality, all of a sudden, stuff starts to break down just a little bit. There wasn't too much crazy stuff that happened besides the speakership stuff this week. And you can see the market kind of freaking out, okay? Now, to go back to where, everything is, SPY has a level of support coming up pretty soon. I'm expecting a nice reversal to be coming after that. I don't think it's going to be a straight shot down like we had over here where it was just like, I don't even know what you want to call it, like straight chaos. This will be a more organized retreat. People will buy up and we'll have another rally here eventually. I'm expecting for things like the SPY, and this kind of goes into what I'm thinking about as far as Bitcoin. I'm expecting us to retest this level of resistance sometime over the next couple months. That's going to be more of an opportunity for you guys to go really hard on the longs if you guys are looking for a breakout there. On the other hand here, if you guys are just looking for some day trades and waiting for some momentum to shift, usually with me, I'll wait for the weekly charts to show a little bit more slowing down, and then we can look for a little bit more of a stronger move. But let me just do a little recap here. Okay, so everything is broken down. NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and the SPY, everything is broken down, okay? Now, put that into context with Bitcoin here, which, depending on how you want to look at it, is kind of in a weird spot. You can almost see this double bottom here, plus this double top here, and we're kind of in this nasty trading range where everything is incredibly boring. And you know what? Sometimes Bitcoin does that. Just think of what Bitcoin was doing back over here for a few weeks. It was just a really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost like 2 months of just nothing happening, okay? Now, at this point, if you guys bought all the way back over here in March of this year, you'd pretty much be even as far as Bitcoin's concerned. What Bitcoin's looking to do right now is simply consolidate here for a week, and then sometime later on this week, or more likely next week, it's looking to break back out above this level of resistance here and then try to go back up to 30,500, 30,100. I still have my longs right now ready for that. I have scaled out a little bit of my positions here just because we kind of already reached that first price target here. And just so you guys might have an idea of what I'm about to do here, because you guys have seen me do this way too many times in the past. What do? Fibonacci extension levels. So let me go over here very fast. Pop that up, high, low, high. You can see, hit that level right there. Came close to hitting the white level, but didn't quite hit it because of this level of resistance that we've been talking about. However, it got close enough where I'm like, hey, I'm going to start scaling out here. I still have about, like 55, 60% of my position still left in here. But I did think it was worth scaling out, especially after seeing some of these smaller breakouts that we saw over the past few weeks. And once you guys figured out that, we were going to have this golden cross here, gave a slight hint of a boost, which sucked because I pretty much broke even off of some of the shorts that I had. Remember, I ordered some shorts over here. I covered a lot of them, but I still held some because I thought we might be dropping down a little bit more. Not with this crazy inflation thing going on. So, bounce back over here. Oh, one more thing actually, just before I forget. Right above that one is up here. If you guys are looking for a level of resistance to start scaling at the last bit of yours, it might be around 30,500. I know we might get up a little bit higher. I want to just get rid of it, make sure I lock down my profits, and then if it goes up higher, I can always re-enter into a position if I want to. But right now, my next price target, if we manage to break out, is going to be at $30,500 level, okay? Now, if you guys ever want me to repeat that, just let me know. Now, again, hoping for consolidation, then a breakout, and then with that, maybe we have some good news. XRP had some good news a few days ago. I don't know if you guys saw the pop off of that. It wasn't extraordinary, but it was enough for people who had some fun day trading, all right? Let's go back over here very fast. But that's what I see happening. If in order for me to turn more bearish on Bitcoin at this point, because we have had a decent breakout, we're going to have to break down to that trend line right there. Let me move this over here just a little more so you guys can see. That trend line right here, if we break down below that, most likely we're going to have some type of pattern play here. And, you know, it won't be terrible, but it will be kind of... I'll be probably looking for this type of pattern here. Hold on. Okay. We're kind of in this uptrend right now, and that's fine. If we break down from this, I'd probably give us probably a 40% chance here, just based off of how the stock market's doing, which is more down, that we have some type of shoulder, head, and then shoulder over here, leading us to maybe a little bit more of a nasty drop sometime in late October, or maybe more likely in early November. But let's not think about that just yet, because we haven't broken down. I made a plan for that today, and I'm probably going to share with members here sometime over the next week. But just keep an eye on it. I expect us to gradually continue moving up higher here, but on this daily chart, consolidate. We have plenty of time. We have a week and a half to consolidate before we start having to worry about breaking down. All right, let's hope we can make a stronger move there. And if that's the case, then we really just have to wait for that big move to pop us up. Am I really excited about Bitcoin? Yeah, I'm excited about it. Altcoins, though, are where I really see people making the most money at this point, and just because a lot of those moving averages and the squeezes that we've been seeing over the past few weeks. If I go over here to the weekly charts, excuse me, let me take a sip of tea here. I've been busy all day. Normally I don't stream this early anymore because I go and visit my mom when she's at the rehab center. I visited her earlier in the day and I brought Loki, so now I actually have time to stream at my normal time, which I haven't done this in I don't think like a month or something. Okay, good old tea. Now, this is Ethereum, so not necessarily the same type as all the other altcoins, but you can see what happens when we start moving with these moving averages. We tend to get a lot of volatility in here. You could even see here, every time we came into contact, they were just huge wicks, huge candles. Something crazy was happening every single freaking week with Ethereum, which is kind of nice. But as we kind of move over to other tokens out here like ADA, ADA had that breakout. I don't know if you guys traded the breakout. We barely talked about it, but breakout right here. Next day, boom. Next day, boom. And really, that was a nice move. And I hate to do this all the time, but Fibonacci extensions, they really can save your life, right? So here's a nice level of resistance. Now, I know you might be mad if you sold it at 26 cents versus 26.96. However, if you were to buy the breakout, sell right here at the price target, which is normally, you know, the white line for me, or the one level on Fibonacci, you could have locked in profits and been fine. The same concept is going to be going on through a lot of the coins I bring up over the next few minutes, okay? Now, before we go over to those coins, there's Dogecoin. Dogecoin is always doing something weird because it hasn't had that straight breakdown like everything else. When you see a Dogecoin, it's been holding this level all the way since June of 2022. If you look at a lot of tokens since June of 22, let me just pull up something like a Matic, right? Mostly everything, Matic maybe not even a good choice. There we go. Oh yeah, this is a lot of stuff has broken down below those levels and has continued to move down even lower. Right now I'm in like larger market cap tokens, so I guess they're not going to be doing that as much. Maybe if I go to the one I normally look at is Ape token. I mean, even Solana here. Okay, that one's too messy for us. But even with Solana, ignore all the lines and stuff on here. This is something you guys don't have to worry about. Breaking above the moving average. Fibonacci extensions. This one actually came all the way up here to the second one. That's what I'm looking for. And there are a lot of tokens that are just in this breakout phase, and they haven't actually reached that higher level. And you can see the painful part about all this, and I know I'm sorry about all the lines and stuff, just ignore it for now. The sad thing about this is, not even sad, it's just annoying. It broke out, and then it's kind of doing what Bitcoin's doing. It's kind of going stagnant for a while, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 up we go. That's what I'm kind of expecting to see happen. But let me back up here very fast. Weekly chart. Let's get out of this because you guys it's going to break your brains, right? Ape token found a level of support. It's been holding over the past few weeks. This is something where I'm saying, hey, let me see if this goes a little bit higher. This one for me, as you can see, we're already kind of touching with some of these moving averages. Not the strongest play, I would say. However, it has had that small breakout. And this is something that's really weird because you can see it kind of tapped on it. This is if you want to be really aggressive. You'd be hopping into Ape token and waiting for a larger move. Your stop loss, if you're buying at 113 or 114 here, is 108. It's a pretty risky stop loss, but your ratio is going to be good because you're risking a few cents, like what, 4 or 5 cents a share, in order to make like at least 10-15 cents a share. So the ratio is there for if you want to take it, but don't be greedy with these types of plays. That's the key here. Just don't be greedy. Now, as far as Matic and things like that, they've already had their smaller breakouts. Let me just show you that right there. They're testing out, they're hitting those consolidation patterns, and this consolidation timer is where I'd be most likely be buying. If you're looking for leverage plays, you're seeing that a lot of these actually have had some golden crosses incoming, and I'm holding on that maybe we're going to have some stronger moves after that occurs, okay? So I know BNB is kind of in a mess right now because of what Binance is going through, so we kind of just broke down below that support. That's just bad SEC news. There's nothing really can combat that. If you guys are okay with news events being part of your equation, which I am not, to be frank, this is an okay time to accumulate here for short-term pops. When you see something that's consolidating sideways like this for this long, normally I don't hop into it, and that's just because it's Binance. Binance is its own little thing, and you can see how close that level of resistance is there. Scale out number 1, scale out number 2. If you're really feeling bold, you can scale out here, which actually matches up with this level of resistance. But for me right now, I'd probably stay away from this. I'd probably say 4-hour charts, probably something you're looking at a little bit better. Yeah, you can see all these death crosses coming over right now. This should be a pretty interesting one. I'd actually buy this with a 211 stop loss, so if I lose, I don't really lose a lot. But anyway, here, let's back this up very fast. Where is it? There you go. I don't know, one of my friends, Tom, his favorite Litecoin. Litecoin is one of those weird ones where it has a passionate fan base, but it really hasn't done much over the decade. Not decades, but a long time, right? Let's go over here. Thank you for the subscribe, Liam. Oh, there you go. All right, maybe a little bit different here, but my point about bringing this up is it hasn't had the breakout yet, and it could be coming, or I guess I did a really bad job yet. It could be coming later today, so if you guys are thinking that Bitcoin can try to hold on a little bit longer, I would probably try to buy this one with a stop loss of just about 63.78. I mean, I'm not expecting this to be crazy. That's a 1% stop loss, so if you're trading with 10x leverage, 10% loss, when you're risking, and again, Fibonacci's are going to save your life here. You're hoping to just get back up to 65.53, which makes sense because you can kind of see that level of support right there. You're risking that 1% for an opportunity to get about 1.69. You know, that's decent for me right here, especially because the stop loss is going to be so small. Again, that'll probably take about probably about a day of holding, maybe even a day and a half here, depending on what we're looking for. The caveat to all these things, and I mean, I can go through a lot of these things, excuse me. You can basically see a breakout on all these moving back up, and we're at the start of a breakout. I want to make sure you guys understand that, even with Bitcoin. Right, start of a breakout, retesting, barely holding on, golden cross incoming. We could have a little bit of relief for the overall crypto markets. Link, this thing actually already broke out a while ago. It's hitting that level of resistance. It's already had the golden crosses. Use common sense. Don't really buy into stuff that's already kind of popped. You can if you want to, but usually wait for a better setup. Like when I see something like this, I'm like, uh-oh, is that a double top coming in pretty soon? Then we're going to crash afterwards as soon as they break down below the 20, next week. I'm a little more worried about stuff like that. But things like FTM, all aboard. Here we go. Let's see where it goes. Gala, it already broke above the 20, but hey, we're about to break above the 50. I could have some fun with this one. And those are the types of plays I'm looking for. If they don't look like they're just starting to break it out and they have a little bit of a pop with a moving average coming pretty soon, I typically won't touch them. They may still move, but you guys aren't going to be looking so much at the daily charts like this. Like with something like a link here, you're going to have to hop down to the 4-hour chart, and you're going to have to look at something like this. All right, and you're going to have to just wait patiently until that happens. You can see a red change of character right there. The super trend is most likely going to be popping down here. Actually, can I just pull up a super trend? Yeah, see how the super trend's saying sell right now? This is looking more bearish right now. Death cross in the 4-hour. Meanwhile, there's a lot of other stuff that looks a little bit more bullish. So if something's popped up already, there can be a situation where it doesn't really do anything while all the other altcoins are popping off because it's already popped, right? All right. Now, one last thing I just wanted to talk to you guys about before we start, I just answer some questions and chill with you guys for a little bit, has been what's going on with the dollar. Oil crashed today because of economic concerns, as they would put it. That's fine. Good old USD here. I know we talked about this a little bit, but we did manage to break out. We're still going strong. We're seeing more volatility here, which is pretty interesting. But if you kind of zoom out to the weekly chart, I mean, it's been a few months of just straight gains as far as the dollar is concerned. And we're going to get back to that point where it was a big joke on TikTok last year, where we were talking about the euro crashing against the dollar, and we saw parity, where $1 equaled €1. We're probably going to see that again here pretty soon. And so to show you guys that, here's the euro to the USD. Right here. I probably just want to type it in, right? One. And I'm getting a shit ton of text on my phone. What's going on? Oh, okay, no, it's fine. There we go. So that means we're most likely going to be heading back down to $1. This was not a good time for the market, as you guys might imagine. That's when the market was crashing before. Apparently, I'm not an expert in this, Europe's economy is just not doing as hot. Apparently, they're calling Germany the sick man of Europe, kind of like what the Ottoman Empire was back in the day. That is not something you want to be called. And, there's a lot of struggles going on in Europe right now. However, in a simple sense, okay, flag, we broke down from the flag. We're still moving forward. There was an opportunity to short the euro this a while ago with the break of structure. That was actually a pretty good move if you actually did it, but that's forex. That's for another day. But we are looking at a death cross coming pretty soon, and historically these death crosses are just nasty when it comes to these types of currencies, right? Death cross, bad. Death cross, bad. This death cross, bad. This death cross, bad. This death cross, bad. That death cross, bad. Death cross, bad. Death cross, bad. And I wish the golden crosses aren't always as good, but the death crosses are usually pretty bad. So just so you know, we could be seeing a little more volatility. I don't want to go into bonds because I haven't done enough research on them to actually go and talk to you guys about what all these rate things are, because every time I turn on the news, Fox Business, MSNBC, not MSNBC, Fox Business, CNBC, and Bloomberg, they're always talking about this 10-year rate, which I think I can find here. If I just type in 10-year, maybe it'll kind of show up. You all search results. 10-year treasury. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, they're basically talking about how this thing gets higher and higher and higher, and that's freaking out people a lot. Because if we go over here to all, I wish I could make this larger. Oh, I can. How is that full screen? Display. Okay, never mind. Okay, let me zoom in here a little bit for you guys. Get past all these nasty ads. This guy will make you lose money. Don't follow him. But what do you call? Okay, we're kind of whoa. Actually, we are past. Why is it doing that? CNBC, get your act together. But anyway, we're like at really bad levels like before the financial crisis. So everybody is now talking about a recession. And a few months ago, everybody was saying there was no such thing as a recession coming, incoming, everything was going to be just fine. It's the media, they have to talk about something, right? But now the fear is that because of this higher for longer, it's what I think the media is coining it as. Basically, we described it as pain on the channel because we talked about how Jerome Powell, if he has to choose between inflation and a good economy, he's going to choose to fight inflation over keeping the economy strong. And that's going to create a lot of pain. There is fear of pain coming pretty soon. That's the big point I want you guys to understand. So when you guys are making all these trades, I don't expect Bitcoin to start this new bull rally anytime soon that really takes us to 50,000, 60,000, something like that. But there still is an ample opportunity for you guys to make some good money going long at this point, as long as you guys have appropriate stop losses. And whatever your stop loss is, I would only move the stop loss up. I would not try to move the stop loss down, okay? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm still doing those long-term trades with you guys, and those ones are doing okay, I think. So remember we bought these last Thursday. Dogecoin's down about 1%, and these are all 2x leverage because we're going to add 400 to 300 to 500 bucks every week into these positions, and more coins too. And we're just going to keep track of how they're doing. Okay, so Bitcoin's up 6%. What do you know, right? Dogecoin's down 0.64%. Filecoin's down 0.42%. They were all up a few days ago, but now they're down, right? ICP is up 4%. INJ is up 7%. Litecoin is down 2.5%, and Magic is up 6.8%. So there's some winners and some losers right now, but we're going to be holding these for like at least until we break $60,000. I mean, past that actually, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, right? So mixed results, I would say. I'm liking the results because I think we're at a profit, which is good. But again, this is not the what are we at? We're up 16 bucks. Yeah. But you know what? There's probably some poor guy that lost $1,000 last week or something while going long or something like that, okay? So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I just see us as more of a consolidation phase before we try to pop up again. I'm really hoping we don't have any crazy bad news. I guess one last thing here, just very quickly, is if you guys go over to cnbc.com, probably the best way to show it to you because I think I just saw a picture of it. Yeah. Kevin McCarthy is out. I've been posting a lot of stuff on this. It is a little bit of chaos, a little bit of chaotic moves over there. We have a government shutdown probably coming in the next 45 days, 40 days, 42 days right now. I don't know. This chaos is more likely than not going to cause the government to shut down because whoever places Kevin McCarthy is most likely going to be more to the right of Kevin McCarthy. I think the consensus I've been getting from the YouTube community, and the algorithm kind of puts more conservatives, I think, on my channel than liberals because I'm more economy focused, right? Which typically means more pro-business. What I've noticed, at least from the more conservative people, is they kind of like that Kevin McCarthy was ousted here. And it seems that I'm trying to like articulate what I think they're saying, which so don't take my word for what they're actually saying here. There's a certain way these people want government to work, and it's not these massive omnibus bills that we've seen Republicans and Democrats and independents, I guess, pass in the past. They want to go through this old system, which I guess is technically the law, but there's like rules you can skirt around it. Where you appropriate the government 12 different types of bills, and then you can amend them, and so you amend them in a way that it adds clarity to the votes. So instead of voting for a huge bill where you're saying I got this, this, and this, and the Republicans got this, people have to make tough decisions on like, hey, do I want to be known as the person that's choosing to fund this program or fund this program or not fund this program or not fund this program, right? And because of that, that speaker is more likely going to try to do something like that. They're going to most likely have to kick the can down the road again right before Christmas. And then they're going to try to pass all 12 of those bills. Things may get heated during that time, and you may even see Moody's, because of all that drama, downgrade America's credit rating. All right. That's kind of the wild card I'm looking for. I was not expecting Kevin McCarthy to lose that battle. I was thinking that maybe Democrats would try to like protect him, or to make sure that they have somebody they can work with, because Kevin McCarthy was very pro-Ukraine. The people running for speakership right now, they're not all pro-Ukraine here. So there's a chance that Ukraine really doesn't get much more money out of the American government, because whether you like the war, whether you support giving money or not, the government's done a really bad job of convincing Americans that they should be, right? Or you can say conservatives or anti-Ukraine funding folks have been so good at their messaging. Either or, it doesn't really matter to me, right? But it's going to cause some conflict, all right? Because that also means that Europeans are going to have to increase the load to Ukraine. And Ukraine's already suffering, Europe's already suffering enough trying to help out Ukraine. So we'll see how all this goes. It'll be pretty fun to watch it from my experience. you can be like connected to this on an emotional level. I'm really not. I just want to see the drama. I want to see what's going on, and I want to see if I can make some money using the information to make myself a little bit more knowledgeable, right? So, without any further ado, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to go over any tokens that you guys want to look at. Consolidation phase right now. I'm still going along. I'm waiting for that next breakout. It may take a few days, but once it happens, I'll be pretty happy. Watching altcoins closely, and altcoin leverage right now. I would say if you wanted to be going long, anywhere between 5 and 15% is going to be fine. Anything more than that, and you're really just taking a large risk. But you got to have those stop losses in place in order to even reach 15%. If you're buying something right now on a altcoin and you don't have a stop loss, you're going to be in a lot of trouble unless you're doing some type of longer term strategy. I think I even have the Fairdesk one. These ones I bought during the pump a few days ago, so they're actually all down right now, or the majority of them are down. But there we go. Yeah. If I zoom in here, these are the ones we're going to be, this is the Fairdesk version of the things we're going to be holding for a long time here. And I'm going to be adding more to this tomorrow along with the TapBit ones. You can see that comp was popping. That's down 18%, but it's only down $16, isn't it? I didn't invest thousands like I normally do with the position. It was like $100 or something. Yeah, about $90, something like that. Ethereum is down 3.5%. STMX is down 20% or $18, and Theta is down $4 or 8%. So I'm not gonna get, I'm not dying here, but still, this is why you have low leverage of 2x, and we're not going with 20x or 10x or something like that. Even though this is a small account that I'm adding to every week, that would probably not end not end well here. And hey, Margin, hope you're doing well, my man. I know, right? Shaving my head. I shaved my head again yesterday, and I already have hair. So normally people can like slide their hands, on their head. If I do that, my hand just gets stuck because I already have hair growing out. I didn't realize how fast hair grew, and that was a bad thing. And hey, Bideford, I know, right? Sorry, guys, I totally been missing your messages because I've been kind of ranting for the last few minutes. Setting up a corporation now, all the red tape is annoying. Welcome to bureaucracy. I bet you already knew it was coming. And hey, good evening, GT. Hope you're doing very, very well. You should have prepared me for the bald head. I know, right? It took me a little bit of time to get used to it. I'm going to be getting my barber to actually shave my head weekly. I'm going to get fresh shaves weekly, and then oh, look at this. We might have a small breakdown incoming. Hope we can break out in time. Oh, I don't want the super trend on here, though. There we go. We have the MACD. This could be a fun little hypothetical trade coming up, especially if we break down from here. Oh, did I already have a MACD on here? I think I did. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, the MACD already crossed over. I already had that false one there, crossover. Okay. Look bearish here. But anyway, I'm gonna get my beard done every other week, and I'm getting my head actually done every week. It's gonna be expensive, but I like it. It's so nice to have no hair on me. I don't have to really I guess take a shower still, but not as much of a hassle. No hair products and stuff like that. And hey, Max, happy to see you back. Discount Killer, hope you're doing well. And Wong, good morning, good morning. I know, right now it's evening for me. It's 5:30 p.m. right now. And hey, Little Cola, happy to see you back. And Tom, good. Sorry, Loki's over here all of a sudden. Hope Australia is doing fine. Every time I think of Australia, I think if there's some animal that can kill me, but I still love Australia nonetheless. Let's see. Oh, and hey, Martin. No. I just cut my hair. There was no implants and nothing like that. I have good hair. Basically, like once a year, I have dry scalp. I know you can't really see it. But like I have a dry scalp every now and again, especially when I'm really stressed out. I think it's psoriasis or something, but it's never actually like gotten really bad. But like once a year, if my hair feels like it just doesn't feel right, I don't know how to describe it. I just shave, and then everything kind of goes back to normal skin within like a few weeks or something. But then also, I just like having a bald head because it makes the maintenance of my hair not as bad. Normally, when I get long hair, I buy hair products to kind of keep it shiny, nice, smooth, holding a little bit. And I really felt like I haven't had the time to do a lot of the maintenance that I've been doing. Like today, you know how long it's been since I've actually made tea on a regular basis? It's been a freaking while. And so I'm trying to get my life back in order after my mom got sick. my whole schedule as somebody with ADHD, it has been horrible. I've had no schedule. I've been all over the place. The lack of streaming, lack of videos. Oh, sorry, that's hair. That was a spider in the air. Just lack of working on the course that I've been building, all that type of stuff. It's like been my life's been a roller coaster mentally. So I'm taking apart some of the things that I normally do and trying to like rebuild my schedule, my rhythm in life, I guess you could say. I have no life rhythm right now, except for seeing my mom every evening. That's usually what I do. And today I even bucked that a trend. I saw her in the middle of the day, and I spent a couple hours with her and Loki. So I brought her outside so she can see Loki. But now this is the time I normally with her, so my schedule is still kind of all over the place. But I'm hoping I get back into a regular schedule. Like heck, I fell asleep at 5 o'clock in the morning this morning. Right, I was watching CNN and CNBC and Squawk Box, because I accidentally drank caffeinated tea instead of decaffeinated tea. So I'm still a little bit of a mess, but doesn't mean I still can't talk about stuff. So I'm hoping to get back to this type of schedule here, but it's still going to be a while before I'm able to do that because all the stuff happening with mom, rehab, stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. But the good thing is I can always visit my mom really anytime I want to up until like 10 o'clock or something like that. So I still have ample opportunity to visit her a few hours because normally I spend about 5 hours a day with my mother at the rehab place because she's like depressed for being there. And can you blame somebody for being depressed, being at a like an old folks home rehab center? Yeah, I can't blame her for that one. What's right here? And hey, Perez, happy to see you back as well. Death Cross dying out on the daily. Yeah, I mean, so far, if you guys are looking at Bitcoin, we've seen this Death Cross way back over here. And I mean, granted, it led to a pretty nasty move, right? Same with this one over here. We saw a little bit of a decrease after it happened, but not like too much because we had a little bit of a pop, right? But I think that's just because we hit support at the same time. At this point on the daily chart, we're not really even thinking about death crosses anymore, which is a really good sign. It just took, I mean, how long did it really take? It took like 42 days for us to hold this support and really be confident that we were not going to be coming down there. Or if you're looking at it from a different way, maybe you just say, hey, it took 25 days, almost a month. What I'm really more concerned about right now is you're seeing all this stuff happen with Bitcoin on the weekly charts. We've still had that death cross there. Now, is a death cross on the weekly chart usually a terrible thing? It depends. We've never seen this happen before, so we're not entirely sure what's the case. Because it's only happened once, yeah, and it didn't really do anything. This drop that we saw here was from FTX, right? Maybe we can talk about the trial here in a little bit. I'm so mad it's not live on TV or YouTube, so I can't stream it. But last time I didn't do anything. I think it'd be more of a momentous thing if, I guess, sometime in November at this point, maybe even not late October, we see that death cross between the 20-week moving average and the 50. To me, that's more seismic because you can see over here. Oh, let me go back over here a little bit more. Let me take away the 200 just so it doesn't really matter. This is more of a pattern that I think we can kind of say, okay, this is something that's happened a lot, and this is something that's not very good, right? So I know we haven't talked about this in a minute, but death cross there, whoa, really bad time. Death cross here right before COVID. Of course, that wasn't a good time. Death cross here, that wasn't really a good time. It didn't just drop right away, though, like some of these other ones. It took a little bit of time, but still bad things happen afterwards. All the way back over here, bad things happen afterwards, and I don't think it goes back any further than that. All the way back over here, 2011, that's the only time it really didn't work. And that was back when Bitcoin was at $5. So who knows if that is going to mean something or not. However, we're always looking for golden crosses too. Those golden ones usually end up being good signs here as well. Main point being, we actually have a little more data that we can trust. And at this stage of Bitcoin's cycle, it kind of feels like we want to take another leg down here, especially because the entire stock market is like teetering on the edge all of a sudden. And, I wish I can pull up like articles from like a couple weeks ago and articles to what's happening right now. And I know a lot of you guys maybe watch Fox Business, CNBC, or Bloomberg. The 180 shift these guys have taken from being so, oh my God, the market's going to keep on going up for the rest of the year. It's going to be going up in 2024. There's nothing stopping us right now. To all of a sudden, oh my gosh, the recession is right around the corner. We got to be prepared. Let's sell off some and, tech is a bubble, all this stupid shit, to slam down the desk too much. That, all that stupid stuff they were saying. You kind of have to navigate the murky waters. And the water isn't crystal clear, so I can't say we're crashing anytime soon. I don't think we're crashing, right? I just think it's a nice pullback. We're going to consolidate for a little bit of time, and then the market will dictate, the economy will dictate if we manage to have another breakout here, or if we decide to break back down because of all the chaos going around. And, if you just kind of zoom out to the way America is going right now, is there a lot to be excited about? I think that from I'll go back to the 15-minute chart. You got Trump and Biden running for president next year. According to polls, which I don't really think you can trust polls entirely, most people don't want any of them to run. People think that Trump is too old to run for office, and they really think Biden's too old to run for office. And I think that's just because they're both old, but I guess Trump has more of a vigor to him, perhaps, while Joe Biden, sometimes it feels like he's suffering from dementia, to be frank, but I don't know if that's just him being tired or overworked or something. Being president's a hard job, but it feels like he's not all there, right? And then regardless of that, you have a government that keeps on spending a lot of money. Democrats and Republicans, they've been doing it for a while. A lot of money being spent. You see this little mini revolt trying to fix that right now, but who knows if it'll actually work, right? So all that going on. Then you're trying to see the Fed to say, hey, stop all this spending because that means I have to keep rates up higher, which means that he has to try to slow down the economy more. So, that's not even talking about how fucked up the rest of the world is right now, okay? So, we're not in a really good spot, but there's hope. And a lot of us tend to be optimistic people, I would say, out in the world, so we're hoping that something good could happen. We'll see, right? But at this point, we've kind of hit a high cycle on the stock market, while crypto, I think, still has room to move higher. The overall stock market feels like it's kind of topped out for now. And if you guys are looking at some of the assets that people have been talking about buying over and over again, you've noticed that they've come down a little bit. So I was just talking about AMD having a reversal right here earlier. So I know. Where's my... Oh, it has to be like this. Okay. So you're seeing a lot of different stocks kind of in these nasty downward trends. We're hoping for a breakout on them. If there is a breakout, I'll be the first to buy, right? But you can see how they're down about 22%. AMD's down about 22% from the highs. At the worst, it was down 30%, and then it hit a Fibonacci level, and then you could buy right there if you wanted to as well. Tesla, not nearly as bad because Elon Musk is a messaging genius when it comes to this type of stuff. So whenever they're kind of having a little bit of problems, he kind of just puts out some news. I think yesterday he put out news that there was a cheaper car on the way, or maybe there's a cheaper car available. And that's exactly what Tesla needs to do, because there's a chance that the Asian cars will come into the American market, which would destroy our EV market because they can be very, very cheap compared to the more luxury brands like the Rivians and the Teslas and stuff like that. But, not as bad. Look at NVIDIA. From the all-time highs, it dropped down about 18%. Now it's only down about 12%. You're seeing a lot of these things. Okay, AMD's kind of down a little bit more, but a lot of stuff is kind of in this weird holding pattern where we're all just kind of waiting. Everybody's waiting. You're seeing the death cross on NVIDIA, the first death cross since... I don't even know if there's a... Since April of 2022, right? So all these moving averages and lagging indicators are now saying, whoa, sell, 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 sell. We're hoping that basic fundamentals can actually just give the middle finger, to to the technicals and keep us moving higher, which does happen more than you would think, right? But it's important that we get those fundamental changes, because, if you're looking at something like Microsoft, weekly chart, Microsoft just broke down. It didn't go catastrophic. It had maybe, what was this breakdown here? 6%. But now we're consolidating again, and now we're not going back up. Consolidation, what happens? You're seeing this death cross that's most likely going to come in November. What happens after that? We might be coming all the way back down here to 293 as far as Microsoft's concerned. And that's the concern. At this point, there's still no recession. We still have a decent GDP growth rate. So I'm not talking about us breaking back down below these levels. All of that would happen sometime in 2024 based on all these moving averages. If we're looking at historically, the way moving averages have guided these recessions, or just kind of shown us what's happened during them, a recession would happen next year, nowhere near this year. And that kind of makes sense if you kind of go look at the GDP growth rates. We need 2 negative quarters of GDP, and then we have to, in a weird sense, the government and the media have to tell us we're in a recession. Because we already had a technical recession last year, and we were kind of gaslit into believing that it wasn't a recession when it was. And so what happens if they try to tell us it wasn't a recession again? I don't know if people are going to buy it or not. It'll be interesting. I don't like being gaslit, so I was furious with that. Because even they changed the definition on Wikipedia and Investopedia. Then they had to change it back because people found out. And I'm surprised how many people had screenshots of the old definitions they had. And when they were able to put that up on Twitter, because Elon Musk, was buying it at that point, they couldn't hide it, right? So you don't want to see Economist, or you don't want to see Wikipedia becoming too political, right? You don't want to see them doing that. Same with Investopedia thing, definition websites. You want them to be written in stone, basically, and adapted over time, but not because the government is trying to force you to do something. When the government gets involved, it doesn't end well, right? Let's see. Sorry, guys. I went all the way down, and I need to get back to the questions that I was answering. Chainlink is popular, by the way. Yeah, it is. It does have a higher market cap. Do I think gold would break under the 200 on the weekly? Okay, so this has been weird. Like, I own gold, and I've been hoping gold can do something really, really good. But we haven't looked at gold in months at this point. Look how wild this is. Gold is just absolutely cratering right now. Now, short answer, yes. I do think it'll probably break down below the 200. Will it happen right now? I think it really depends on how crazy rates get over the next few days and or week going forward here. You can see this death cross coming. I'm pretty sure it's going to come back down to maybe like 1750, 1730. Really try to find a support around here. Then maybe come back down here, but I'm pretty sure we'll take a pit stop there if we have to. I mean, if we break down. I'm just going to keep this on the weekly chart right here, and then go down to the daily chart. There you go. All right. I would expect some type of consolidation, pop back up a little bit here, and then break down. If it just drops down, that means something really bad is happening in the bond markets, and that'd be really bad for the overall economy. I think right now the bonds are playing catch up, and some of these rates are playing catch up, and they're not. I don't think they're trying to go to like really. Actually, they're already at really bad levels. No, they're not trying to go to catastrophic levels, I guess that. But yes, I do think it'll eventually break down. I'd be waiting for some type of bearish pattern to develop over the next few days. Maybe just looking at the, 4-hour chart. And from there, wait for that breakdown. When that breakdown happens, I'd be more willing to put some shorts on this. But, it's hard to justify shorting right now after looking at some of these larger moves. Maybe even over here on the 15-minute chart. You can kind of see. Now, the smart money is not going to be working for something like gold unless it's kind of fine-tuned for it. But how do I want to play this? Head's not in the way, is it? Okay, good. Keep an eye on to see what happens here as we test at this level. I'd probably, again, like I said, wait for a bounce. When you start to see the oscillators give you some bearish divergences, and you're starting to see everything kind of head downwards from from an oscillator point of view, this could be RSIs or MACDs or stochastics or I don't know, anything really. When you see a few of those kind of showing you downwards, that's why I'd probably do the shorts. You're going to want to see them on the 4-hour charts or the daily charts. If you do anything less than that, they might not be powerful enough, that momentum going down, to really justify breaking down below that 200. Because what's happened in the past here, if I kind of poke you to it here, it wasn't even, oh, let me go to the 15-minute chart here. I know this looks ugly, bear with me, bear with me here. Let's go here. I'm just trying to follow the line. I know it'll eventually catch up to where the chart is. Oh, it doesn't go back far enough. Oh man, okay, hour chart. Okay, there we go. Okay, right. Like, what support was that? There was no support here. A little bit of resistance, sure. A little bit of resistance, sure. We managed to break back out. Again, what support was there? So I don't necessarily think it's such a strong level of support for us, which is kind of why I think this trend will just continue. But it looks like from now, again, if I go back to where we just were, we're finding a little bit right now. I don't think it's going to be something that's going to be something so epically strong that we just don't break down below it, okay? But right now, though, rates are kind of calming. You saw the market kind of calm down a little bit because of that today, kind of a short-term boost. I would expect the same thing to see gold pop up here a little bit more. Probably give you an ample opportunity to get in a good entry position here. But just be careful of those rates because it is going to add up to a lot of volatility here. Okay. Now what I need to do is go back over here. Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop, shoot. Ooh. There we go. But I mean, make no mistake, that death cross is coming. That's what I'm more concerned about here. When I invest in gold, though, whether it's a short or a long, it's usually something I plan on holding for like a month, month and a half or so. That stop loss you have is going to be very generous, unfortunately, because of how crazy this is, especially because you want to short. So just be careful if you're hopping in here. I mean, your stop loss isn't going to be like 1830 or something. It's most likely going to be, yeah, back up here towards 1857. With trading gold, that's a pretty large stop loss. But again, you know, you think about that small move right here. Let me just add a, there you go. You look at how much further this bad boy can go. You can already see the support level kind of right here as well. Support level right there. You know, you're giving up a little bit right there, and you're hoping for it to come all the way back down here to 1730s or so. The risk reward is there, but it's not something that happens within like a day or a few hours. It's going to take a few weeks, which is why gold can be very annoying to trade, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Watch those moving averages. They're going to be smacking that thing down left and right, unless there's some type of really good thing that happens with the economy. All of a sudden, good thing happens with rates, which I just don't see happening. The best thing that can happen for them now is just that they stabilize. Nothing else. Just stabilize, stabilize, stabilize. And we're still going strong here. That's good to see. And TapBit, what type of trades you do? I like to do longer term swing trades on TapBit personally. They have a few different methods here. They have like their own copy trading version, which I haven't been doing, but I do copy trading on Fairdesk. What I've noticed with them is I like just doing some longer trades with them. The only thing I found confusing at first was just like with any new exchange is basically how do you trade with them and kind of how to use the interface. I'm in the process of making a tutorial which will be coming out sometime this weekend. The big thing that I would say, right now I'm using it for long-term trading here. But again, you can use it for whatever you need it to be used for. And I use Fairdesk for a lot of day trading and stuff like that. This one I'm trying to focus more specifically on longer term trading, and I kind of put up some money into it, see where it goes. Long term investing here. All right, now with Fairdesk, I mean with TapBit, the one thing I would just point you to, and I'll make a tutorial on this I guess later on too. Like I said, the big thing is with any exchange, a lot of times just remember that your your leverage will move around a lot without you knowing. It's not their fault necessarily. A lot of times it'll like reset to 25% after you make a trade. But if you put it at 1% and you don't do anything, it'll usually just stay where it's at. And then right here, I guess this is the confusing part for me. When you do go make a trade, you're gonna see this little thing that says USTD. It'll be, you can buy Bitcoin within Bitcoin. You can trade Bitcoin with Bitcoin. You can use this one right here, or what most people just use is USTD. That's what I use. You're going to order by value, or you're going to order by cost, okay? Ordering by value, you can modify the required margin by adjusting the applied leverage, all right? Or order by cost, it is inclusive in the initial margin, fees to open, fees to close. Modifying the leverage will not change your order cost. I do this order by cost, so that means when you go over here and you do $500, it's actually $500 worth of Bitcoin that you're trading. And then you can go over here, adjust the leverage for the long or short position you want to take. They are different. Don't change this one if you're trying to go short. It won't do anything. One of the reasons I like this actually for doing some trading lately is it goes up to 150x leverage. Or what I prefer to trade is Ethereum here when it comes to day trading because the volatility is just there. You know, it's still pretty good. 150x leverage, which if you kind of play around with the liquidity or the volatility of Ethereum, excuse me, it can be very, very big. But that's just the one thing I would really point out. It can be kind of annoying sometimes if you're not used to how this works out, because if you go over here to Fairdesk and you type in right here, same type of button, it just says USTD and USTD margin cost. It's so simple. Tapbit doesn't have that simple kind of look. They kind of overcomplicate it because they're trying to educate you at the same time, which kind of concerns me because I want to make sure you guys all know what's going on, right? Okay. But personally, I really do like the longer term trades on it. If you want to do some day trading on it, there's still two ways I would go about it. Primarily, I like doing Bitcoin and Ethereum on that one, maybe over Fairdesk. Well, I prefer Fairdesk for things like altcoins. Both are perfectly good exchanges. There's not one that's gonna like take the kick on the other one. And I believe Tapbit is a little bit newer, so usually you end up paying less fees and you get to enter into more contests. The same thing when BitGate was very new and it was very easy for you guys to win contests and stuff like that. Same type of thing with Tapbit. Maybe I can just pull it up one more time, then I'll kind of go to the next question. There's always so much to talk about when it comes to an exchange. As far as the bonus task and stuff like that, okay, no, it's loading. So I was just clicking on it a little too much. All right. So I'm an affiliate, so I can't really like get a bunch of stuff. I think I can actually claim this right here. But basically, once you deposit, once you do your trading volume, you kind of click claim, and then you can get paid for that one. It didn't take me too long to do this because you think it's like $1 million trading volume, but if you trade with $1,000 and you're trading at like a 50x leverage, the volume just really comes and goes really easily. And you can see right here another $200, something like that. It's basically just how much you want to trade. This one expires 8:30. That one I guess already did. This one expired 9/5. I didn't do it. Cumulative. Mine's kind of whacked out because I'm an affiliate with them, so my account's kind of specialized. But there's this one right here, right? Claim $100, claim $200. Expires 9/28. Just trade. If you're trying to go for the task when it comes to any exchange, is my stream still running okay? I'm getting a little bit of a warning sign from YouTube saying error. I hope it's not messing up here, but I think I can still see myself talk, so I'll keep on talking here. The big thing is, don't worry about necessarily making large amounts of money while you trade. Trade and try to break even with the fee structure that they have. So make a few bucks. Overall, you're making maybe $5 to $10 on a trade. You can make more, of course, if you have a really good trading strategy or something like that. But the faster you hit that volume, you can get the money, and then that'll be used as the money first when it comes to your trading, right? So usually the way bonuses are structured when it comes to exchanges is when they give you a bonus, it doesn't mean that that bonus that they gave you, you claimed a $100 bonus, $200 bonus. It doesn't mean, oh, I got $200, I can take that and put it into my wallet on Coinbase. What it usually means is, hey, that bonus will go towards two things. If you make a trade and you lose money, that bonus will usually go to covering those losses. Or more likely, if you guys are kind of more decent traders and you win some, you lose some, those that crypto money, USDT, is usually used for fees. So that'll be deducted over deducted. So it's like you're trading with no commissions, based on no fees on the exchange, which I personally love to do. Mostly how I get my money from Fairdesk is usually a lot of bonus stuff. And then so and it works out pretty well. Now, if you had no money in your account and you only had, let's just say you claimed that $100 bonus, any profit that you made off of that $100, you could take that and put it into another wallet. The thing that gets confusing for people when it comes to this type of stuff is eventually that bonus is going to go down to zero. And if you're still trading and you're breaking even or making tiny profits, all that $100 can eventually go towards a Coinbase account or a Fairdesk or a Binance or a KuCoin, because the bonus itself got nibbled away from fees and it was replaced by just pure profit. So that's just something toss out there you may want to know. A lot of times when it comes to bonuses, it kind of just makes me feel a little bit more. It's probably not a good thing, but it encourages me to add more leverage to my positions because I know the fees aren't going to be as expensive because technically I'm not paying for the fees. The bonus is. Some people may say, oh, I'm still paying for the fee. I know I am, but my mind doesn't want to think about it like that. So you can be a little bit more aggressive when it comes to some of your trades. And sometimes I like to do that, especially if I'm practicing a new strategy. And I'm like, or not even practicing, like I'm so confident in a strategy. I'll think about that. I think maybe you can even see this right here. This is a 15-minute chart, so just bear with me for a second. But you can see this tiny little breakout that happened right there. Right there. Whoop. Sometimes people like to scalp those. With a high leverage, and sometimes the fees can be kind of expensive with a high leverage, right? Higher leverage, a lot more fees. Especially if you guys are trading with $1,000, $2,000, something like that. It can kind of help with that type of stuff. Now, that's a nice little breakout there. You saw the moving averages looking to have some fun here, even though it's death cross right there. You can see the 50 and the 200 right there. And then, depending on how you want to scalp this out, boop, hit price target here, hit price target right there. I don't know, hit price target right there. You could have some fun with it. But yeah, bonuses are usually pretty nice things. I wish more exchanges gave them out more freely. I think it would help out the volume a lot, but I guess, that's also saying that they're not getting as many trading dollars from you because every time we trade on crypto, myself included, we pay fees for the right to it. And regardless of what exchange you guys are using, whether it's Fairdesk or anything like that, they usually have some type of contest they throw every few times a year. Fairdesk second anniversary trading competition. If you guys use Fairdesk, participate in this one. And if you guys, oops, wrong one. There we go. If you guys use this, they'll also have trading competitions coming up. Usually they just want to see enough people sign up and do that type of stuff, right? Because what I like about them is they also have this beginner's guide here, right? So if you guys have any questions, they can really help you out there as well. But I don't know. I'm streaming. Just ask me. A lot easier than going through this. But if for whatever reason I'm not live, you could use that one, right? Okay. Let's hop out of there very fast. Matic TA, yes, I can. Okay. A few different things here. Matic already kind of had that smooth breakout. We have had that kind of double bottom set up here, so I am going to be long on this one right now. Price target is not going to be anything too crazy. I just want to see us tap on that 20-week moving average. At this point, it looks to be around 64 cents, which would be a decent profit here. If you kind of swing around to the daily chart, you'll see the breakout. You'll see the breakout above the 50-day moving average here. You'll see that the golden cross is coming here pretty soon. I was irritated by this move yesterday because it kind of just whacked me out a little bit because I was hoping for something a little bit different. I was hoping for further consolidation, then breaking out happening sometime, Friday this week in time. So it's kind of weird to see that breakout happen so early. So now the chart looks more like that instead of maybe a typical. How would I show this to you guys? boop, 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 pop like that. Now we're kind of just with pop, came back down. So it's all shitty now. Okay, but anyway, there you go. At this point, what I'm hoping for it to do is just try to stay above this consolidation line right here, and then eventually have another breakout going forward. You can see on the 4-hour chart, we just had this golden cross here, and that kind of led to that pop that we saw, I think. But we have had this breakout there. I'm liking it so far. My stop loss for this one would be kind of closer to 55 cents. Normally when I take these type of trades here, even on the 1 hour, I might be trying to go for something more like this right here, or at 55.75. For me, I'm thinking more 54.96 right now as far as a long's concerned. This, it really irked me because the normal setup, again, like I'm looking for is like this, right? And you can see, forget all, here, let me just do this. What I was expecting on this 1 hour chart was consolidate, boo, pop. And I wanted to buy anywhere in this zone because I know the pop is going to be what I'm looking for. That got shit upon in a good way, but also a very annoying way. So I'm not as excited about this one because it kind of already has had that kind of weird pop here. Yeah, to replay very fast. There we go. But I'm still trying to buy some up at these levels, look at the consolidation, and hope for something a little bit better. It was just annoying that we had this weird pop out of nowhere. I'm still expecting us to consolidate. Even really here, if you're looking to hold this for maybe a week or something, like I'd probably say might be best, that stop loss might just be right here at 54.29. And it's a little bit higher than you might expect, and you're kind of not getting a good price for it right now at all. It's like, it's a 4% stop loss. That's kind of hefty. But again, I would still be trying to buy up at these prices and hoping for another big move over the next few days. I'm kind of hoping for something like that. Now, as far as those price resistances, you have a clear one way up here, 63 cents. I think it can actually hit that. But, just as a more rational target, you might be thinking of something more along the lines of, oh no, we already hit it. Damn, we did hit it. I guess, yeah, that 60 cents matched up with the body of the candle over here above my head. If I can drag that along right there, yeah. So freaking annoying. But yeah, I would still be expecting some type of similar breakout. You can see this upward trend right here. I know we just drew a line a few seconds ago, but that upward trend right there, as long as you don't break that, I'd be happy to see what happens. But even if we broke down below it, I think I would just maybe have that stop loss there after all. If I'm looking at the daily chart specifically, I think it's okay. Weekly chart, we're so far away from this 20-week moving average. But by the time we maybe break out, that'll probably be the level of resistance I'm really focusing on. Yeah, there's not as much good stuff here as I would like to, just because that one day. If this was much more organized in the way I want it to be, I would have loaded up a lot more of this. I'm still long on it though. But I'm waiting days. My stop loss right now is, how do I do this? No, I guess it's fine for now. It's closer to 54, like 55 cents basically. I might move it down to 54.34. But I really shouldn't. But yeah, I'm not as, I didn't invest as much as I maybe would have if that popped and it happened the way it did. Let me say that, okay? Because I was already in this. I scaled out, right? And then I kind of have been adding back into it to the point where if I do hit the stop loss over here, a lot of the profit I made over here is really just going to go nowhere, so I'll kind of break even. But I'm doing this because I plan on holding on for a week and hoping for that big pop to happen. It's just going to look very stupid if it does pop. It's not going to look nice and organic. It's going to look kind of like weird, if that makes sense. But, who knows? It is what it is at this point. Yeah. It's not bad. Let me say, it's not bad at all. It's just kind of annoying. Annoying isn't necessarily bad. Okay, depending on who you ask, right? Jesus, I wonder, isn't there like a divergence happening by this point? Making new highs while coming down a little bit, not a lot. This isn't, that's not the lagging one that we normally use. QTOM. Let's see. Defiance QTOM ETF. Damn, if this isn't just a copy of the SPY, I don't know what it is. So far, it looks pretty bearish here over the long term. Not like the long term, but over what's happening over the last few months. You see that breakdown that just happened here a couple weeks ago. It's been moving down and making new lows every week. Long term, you can accumulate this if you wanted to. Support level, though, it's kind of already there, isn't it? We're like that far away from it. Really, really close. 4-hour chart here. 15-minute chart. This is really that loading zone that you're hoping for, especially if rates kind of cool down a little bit. 46.50 to 47.50, maybe just a dollar range there. This is an accumulation phase if you're hoping for quantum right here. This is something you'd probably want to be holding though for just about a week and a half at most. You can see these moving averages screaming down here at like warp speed. That's most likely going to lead to a breakdown over the next few months. But in the short term, you could definitely have a pop where we start. How do I show this? Okay. Moving averages coming down. This popping up and doing a whole bunch of crazy volatility before breaking down, basically. And that volatility could be an easy way for you to make some money there. But let me go over here to I want to see what's kind of in it. Yes. There we go. Holdings. Okay. Splunk, Honk, Elastic, Nvidia, Intel. What's the weight of Nvidia? Not too much. I mean, so long term, this is definitely something I don't want to hold, but I just feel like right now there's a problem in the economy, okay? And I'll try to break this down in as simple a manner as I can try to explain it after I pour myself a nice cup of hot tea. Oh, it's still steaming. I love this stuff. Okay, so you guys know that besides the big tech companies like the Nvidias and the Intels and Alphabet and some of these other ones over here, maybe if I were to go over to one of these random ones, I don't know. This is just a guess here, so bear with me for a second. Okay. You can see that this company isn't making money, okay? There are a lot of companies like this, and it normally in a normal environment, it's actually fine because they're taking loans out to keep business going until they turn profitable, and then when they turn profitable, then they're rewarded with a higher share price, they pay off their debts, and everything's fine, okay? In a high interest rate environment, what you normally see is a lot of companies like this that have debt. That debt, just like all of us who have credit card debt, that debt becomes more expensive. So it costs more to keep everything going because imagine you have a credit card and it's like 20% interest or something crazy like that right now, okay? If you're paying yourself with 20% interest, you're taking loans at 20% interest, it adds up over time. And what's happening? The new narrative, which really was the regular narrative that people kind of forgot for some reason, was higher for longer. We talked about this at the beginning of the year, right? Because inflation was still going strong then. If Jerome Powell has to fight inflation or keep the economy afloat, he will choose to fight inflation over keeping the economy strong. That's just the way he's thinking about this. Which means they're going to have to pay these higher rates to keep the businesses going for a longer time, which means they themselves are going to be dealing with so much more pain because they're not profitable. So, in circumstances like these, when I know nothing about this company, to be frank, so let me just kind of go over here. It looks like computer hardware. Um, when you're not entirely sure about the company, or maybe you like them a lot, this is going to give you an ample opportunity to make some money in the long run, because if you trust what they're doing, if you've done your research, all that type of stuff, their stock prices are probably going to come down quite a bit over this next 6 month period of time, maybe 8 month period of time. And as long as you're confident they can keep, listening to the earnings call, stuff like that, keep up and running, and they have the funding to do so, then you're going to make some good money holding in the long run. Overall, though, because a lot of these type of companies are actually part of the QTUM here, quantum, whatever you want to call it. This just looks a lot like the SPY, to be honest. You're going to notice that it kind of drags down some things here. And what I was hoping to learn here from the ETF's website is I was hoping that there'd be some like heavily weighted things that have just a little bit more profitable. But some of the most heavily weighted stuff, like even this, like it's not even like crazy heavy weight, but just, according to their ETF weight chart. Wait. This is not working properly. See, I'm clicking this right here. The weight should change properly, but like there should be a 2 up here. There's a 2 right here. What the heck is this? Anyway, they just have a little bit of a broken website, which is fine. It's ETF. Somebody really comes over here to look at this type of stuff. It's all hedge funds that buy this stuff, usually, right? That may have a little bit more of a drag on it. But because of that, I think as they kind of clear out their systems of like what companies maybe they don't want to have and stuff like that as time goes on, this would be a great long-term play. I'm going to be very picky, and normally I would just kind of buy individual stuff in here. But when you see an ETF like this, usually it's worth it kind of just coming through here and saying, ooh, maybe I want this one, maybe I want this one, maybe I want this one. Because do I really want Honeywell, Intel, Inc? Not really. Do I really want Intel? No. Do I really want this long one? Actually, maybe, yeah. Maybe that one actually is pretty interesting. Lam Research Corp? I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Semiconductor Corp? Yes, I want that. Lockheed Martin? Yeah, of course I want that one. Microsoft? Yeah, I probably want that one a little bit in here. Marvel Technology? No, not really. NVE Corp? Not really. Hitachi? No, not really. So, it all depends. But that's kind of the problem here that's going to force us to most likely come down a lot longer. So if I go over here to Hitachi, I guess Hitachi's not on Finviz, but let's just stick to this one here. You want to go through it and kind of see what these types of companies are. Like, I'm not going to understand what the hell this means, but you may know. Are they hiring? Oh shit! Yeah, they are. Holy. Oh, they're hiring. They're in Seattle. Oh, okay, cool. I mean, they're hiring up a bunch of staff. Oh my god. Staff systems, okay, I guess it's computing place. They need to have a lot of workers. But again, that means they need to take on more debt to pay these people, which means it's more expensive. But if they're looking to hire this, that means somebody's created a plan, maybe McKinsey or something like that, consultants, where they can do it. But just understand that's kind of the headwinds that they're facing right now. And maybe the government not spending as much money, so maybe the government can't actually give them as many contracts. That's something else. Seattle, Washington. I mean, they're going crazy with all this. They're not even hiring like non-technical staff. It's all research, director of resilience engineering, quantum computing. Like, how many people are literate in quantum computing? I don't even know. Staff, laser control systems, system engineers, quantum computing. So, maybe with my marketing prowess, that's not going to be anything there. Manufacturing, legal, go to market, finance, procurement. I mean, here, Let me just pull up one of these random jobs. Facilities manager. Oversee day-to-day operations of manufacturing laboratory facilities. Bachelor's degree in facilities management, construction management, engineering, or related field. You'd be a great fit with an advanced degree, of course. 7 years. They don't even tell you the salary. They need to tell you the salary for this type of stuff. But these are the type of companies that usually don't even use Indeed. They just want you to find them naturally, which is pretty crazy. But I mean, look at all those jobs, right? That's why the economy is still kind of humming along at this point, because there's all those jobs there. Oh, we finally had the breakdown. I was waiting for it to happen for a while, and it took a little bit of time. Let's see. And hey, verde sauce or green sauce. Hope you're doing well, my man. Thank you. Hey, Mystic Rune. My mom will be okay. She's just a little bit depressed from being in that place for a while. Not this Sunday, I don't think, because she's gonna be busy. But the following Sunday, I plan on taking her to Owens Beach, which I think she'll have a good time with. Get out, enjoy the beach. I'm hoping that the weather will cooperate. If not, I'll try to find another time to take her. But, I think she needs a little bit more of a day out, grab some food, remind her that, like, why she's working so hard to get out of that place. That type of approach, I guess you would call it. I'm excited to see Coca-Cola being $54 a share. Larry, I am still so surprised. Well, their margins are most likely going to shrink here even more as gas prices have gone up. Them and I think it's Kellogg. I'd like to see them coming down even more. Now, we're not talking Disney or anything like that type of crash, but it'll be nice to kind of buy them lower, because you just know there's just stuff you want to hold on to for a long time. Usually it's the Coca-Cola, and the Kellogg's and type of stuff like that. One funny thing here, I was looking at Disney. Oh, just as a side note, I'm not even going to talk about the stock, but side note, it looks like Netflix is going to raise prices again. I will be doing a video here pretty soon talking about how to organize your streaming services so you only pay for them. Like, only use Netflix for a couple months out of the year, only use Disney Plus for a couple months of the year, and just do that. Because my God, like they're getting a little intense with these price increases, to the point where I'm like, even me, and I don't even use my streaming services all too much. I pay for them because my mom watches them, or she used to watch them. Getting to the point where I'm just like, this is a waste of money. A clear waste of money. Weekly chart, look at that. It broke down. Or it's about to officially break down here, below the Fibonacci level. Disney could just be like, oh gosh, yeah, it's not the best of place. I think the other one is Warner Brothers. Discovery. This one hasn't broken down just yet. Let me go over to the monthly chart though. This one is coming pretty close as well. I'm a little bit more optimistic for Warner Brothers than I am for Disney, but they both have streaming services that aren't necessarily great. I hate Ashoka. I thought I was gonna like it. A lot of their Disney movies and stuff like that have just been, just really shitty. I was really hoping Ahsoka would be really good. And the only person I found myself liking was like Skulk, or whatever his name, the villain of the story. And so I was like, damn, I was with the bad guy. Nothing about the new character made me feel happy about watching the Disney stuff. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers has Max. Maybe they can do something with it. But Ahsoka, that was bad. All she does is like, and she tries to act all smug and like, I'm stoic. She's trying to, I don't know. It was bad, in my opinion. That's my view. For me, it was just bad. Some people may like it. If all court, go for it. But for me, it was just like, what? There we go. Nice little place to open up a short on Bitcoin, though. And hey, Monica, did I happen to enter AMD puts yet? No, not yet. I've been busy lately, like too busy to do anything. Let me go over here. Today would have been the day to do some puts though. Let me clean this crap all up here actually. So a few different ways to do this. Oh, I need to extend this line out. A few different ways to do this. Kind of a weird thing because we technically did break down here, right? At this point, let's just kind of focus on the top bar. This is a daily chart. So a couple ways I might enter in some puts. We're very, very close to testing out this resistance level right here. Oh, let me just add this on here before I start talking. Okay. This would be put number 1 if I can do that. Okay. I noticed that we have a golden cross in the 4-hour chart, so that concerns me a little bit, but not a lot, because you can see right here, we had a golden cross back over here above my head, and that was a shoulder, head, and shoulder. Then it kind of, or maybe shoulder over here, depending on how you see it. That breakdown occurred and really moved us down. That'd be put number 1. Probably at a $100 strike price here. And that stop loss would be maybe breaking above that 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart specifically. Right? Because you can see it's kind of slowing down a little bit in this consolidation pattern. If for whatever reason we've reversed here, rates start crashing back down or something like that, could happen. Then you're not going to be looking at too much problem. But if we keep on going the way we are going, I would do a specific trade right here and trade that back down to some of these levels around $100, maybe even just $101. Take the profit there, and then if we manage to break down below this sometime over next week, maybe even just Friday or maybe Monday, Tuesday, I would enter my second position right here and hope that we can break back down towards $95, in which case it'd be around $99 to $100 where I'd open up that second options put, and then that price target and the strike price would be something around $95, $94, $96. Maybe strike price around 95, and I'd sell it out. I would sell the position as it got down to 96. All right. Now, a few things just to be aware of. Let's get rid of some of the crap. Let's get rid of smart money for a second. Moving averages. Let's get rid of this. There's just too much stuff cluttering the screen. All right. We're pretty darn close to having a bearish divergence here, which isn't too good. Well, if you're ordering puts, you're fine. But you can see we're kind of huddled up against this level of resistance here, and we'll kind of see where it goes. If we start to break above that, plus that trend line, I would be a little bit more concerned for those puts, just because of some of the MACD stuff we're seeing here, right? You can see that breakout here on the MACD. And that kind of occurred, if I can point it out. Boop. Right, give it a few days and it finally popped off. That now, daily chart. And you can see how we have this crossover right here that just happened. Now these crossovers really haven't been the best for AMT because it's been kind of this weird nasty channel down. I would say that first trade will probably happen today or tomorrow. The more confident trade to do, where you're probably going to be more confident in the position you take, or where you can just feel more confident about putting more money into it, is that secondary one where if we start to break down below this right here, okay, that would make me feel much more confident than just buying at the resistance level, which can definitely happen. But you know, sometimes we end up just breaking out and it's a pain in the ass to deal with, especially because the news cycle has been so crazy. Weekly chart, however, if I can pull this here. There we go. You'll see we're still pretty bearish. We haven't really showed too much of a slowdown here, but you've seen the stagnation, I would say, just in the drop of momentum, right? So keeping a close eye on it. It almost seems like this week would be something of a week of consolidation for the last few days, and then next week is when you're going to see that drop down really aggressively. But you know, when you have to wait that long, sometimes the theta kicks in and kind of drains some of the positions. So like if I went over here to Livestream very fast. Sorry about that. That felt good. All right. If I went over here and I typed in AMD over there, Somebody rang my doorbell. If they ring the doorbell twice, it must be something important. If they ring it once, it's not important. See, I guess how that turns out. Historical flow. Let's just do 27th until today, maybe. All right, premium. You got to put expiring. No, it's the 29th. Yeah, see. They rung again. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. It might be something important for my mother or something. I'll be right back. Then we'll go over more options data. I promise you. I promise you. Well, let's go Bitcoin very fast. All right. I'll be right back. Okay. It was important. It was medication for my mother, some insulin and stuff. So usually the only person that rings twice is that lady who drops off her medication. But anyway, back to Whale Stream here. What we're doing now is looking at AMD options that have been bought and sold that expire over the next 2 Fridays. So that means this Friday and the Friday following, okay? You're most likely looking for the next one, to be frank, but just so you have an idea of what's going on. So now I'm out of breath, right? I had to run upstairs and put my mom's insulin in the refrigerator. But can you guys see this? Let me close this perhaps. Okay. So 1027. Oh, you saved yourself so much pain by just going the long game, so that's a good thing right here. In fact, let me actually just adjust that here to go to the 27th. That makes your life so much easier. 3.84. The heck? Well, here, let me do this very fast. I wonder if I broke something here. Expiry date range. There we go. I might have messed up something. I know the dates weren't working up over here. Okay. So 1027, $98 strike price right here, 2015. Your strike price was 95. There is a $2.15 million bet placed on this. This is unusual. Quantity over was larger than open interest. It's pretty good when it's a sweep, so it's going across multiple different exchanges basically here, okay? Now, there's a call over here for 10.6. That's for next week, and that's at 60. Somebody's probably just loading up on shares there because that's way in the money there. 105, that's 10.3, 10.4, that's 10.20. So this is the last couple days here. I mean, people agree with you. 105 strike price in the money, 120 strike price in the money. I know it's in the money, but that's usually safer for hedge funds, right? $99 strike price in the money. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was just in there a couple days ago, wasn't it? I guess they're not making as much money now. But if I go over here, this was bought 10.3, so this was bought yesterday. All right. And this was made up out of a few different positions here, it sounds like. And but They bought it at 340. It's now worth 205. So it's probably going to come down to maybe a little bit more for this guy. Then eventually it's going to shoot up. I think we've kind of seen this in the past when it comes to a lot of options plays, especially for those who want to hold it for a long time. But it looks like there's a lot of people buying up these, or not a lot, but there's some wealthy hedge funds out there loading up on AMD puts, looking to see what you did as well. Yours are probably a little bit nicer and cheaper because they're at a $95 strike price, not a $98 strike price. And usually I think that 95s, 90s, 100s, like, you know, the fives and the zeros, at the end of it, they usually have a lot easier, more liquidity, so it's easier to hop in and hop out, get the amount of options that you're looking for. If there's anything here that has a 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, not really 95, oh, there's a 95, but that's a call. That's, I mean, here's one. This was bought today, $92 strike price, 88 cents aggressive, split across a couple different exchanges. $98. This one bought at 89. It's currently at 47. Oh boy, wow, look at that one. This guy, I mean, again, it expires the 20th, so it's a couple weeks away. But this is one of those where you're going to be, I mean, maybe even dollar cost averaging was the best play here, but you're waiting for that big pop to happen. But if you're at 1027, you should be okay to be patient on it here. And you're just kind of waiting for it in the next little teetering down here, if you will. If you're kind of worried about it maybe not working out or something like that, if you see this breakout occur, maybe it's better just to cut your losses, something like that. It looks, I don't know if the hedge funds have sold their positions, but it looks like they're just kind of waiting until the end of the month for more bad news to push this sucker down. And it's not going to be hard over the last few days. You know, it's not going to be hard to imagine it coming back down to $99 or even back down to $95. And yours is yeah, $1.78 per contract. That's not bad. Like the other guy, $4. That's pretty pricey, but that's hedge fund money, right? They can pay whatever they want to. $95 strike price. Yeah, it's reasonable for it to get to $95. $90 like the other person had, or 92 the other one. That one's a little bit harder, but that's where you trade, and you're not actually waiting for the expiration date to roll around here. And somebody just said something here. There we go. Hey, Alan, I'm happy to see you back as well, my man. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Robert. I know, right? I'm normally not live this time. I'm trying to do it much more, excuse me. Classes in session. Hey, sir, may we short from here? As far as Bitcoin's concerned, you could short, but it's a day trade. It's not like a weekly hold here or something like that. The overall trend right now for Bitcoin is definitely up. Usually what I like to do is like to day trade into the trend. But for stuff like this, where if you just want to scalp and make a quick buck, yeah, you could definitely short this if you wanted to. Have a stop loss in case there's some big news or something. But yeah, there's nothing crazy bad about shorting from here. And then orange, yeah, I know. I didn't think I was gonna look okay shaved, but now I got to keep my beard maintained, which is gonna be a little bit weird. And you can kind of see the hair on my scalp. I shaved it yesterday, and it just, my hair grows too fast for this stuff. And Larry, you are 100% correct. I did like Thrawn a lot. I totally forgot about him. But see, I was still rooting for the bad guys. There was nothing not appetizing, but appealing to me about the good guys. Nothing. And maybe because I didn't like the Star Wars Rebels all too much, in the first place. But man, it just killed me watching that, because all I wanted to do is watch the bad guys. Any other part was like fast forwarding it sometimes, because it was like, oh, and then Bitcoin goes down even more. This is where you set a little change of character right there. You want to hop on board, but this is a scalp for those that want to play, and scalps can be kind of tedious. Loki wants to say hello. Loki, you want to say hi to people? Oh, he has like a toy or something in his mouth now. Come here, up. So he's Mr. I got my toy. Oh, it's kind of hard to see his toy because of the green screen. There you go. He had a lot of fun. He saw my mom for the first time in like a month and a half today. He was so excited to see her. My mom usually gives him treats and cuddles and stuff like that. And he hasn't been able to get that because, she's been in the hospital now in the rehab center place. Let's see. And hey, Oph, I can look at one of them for you. I can look at Riot, I guess. That seems the first one you asked about. Nope, we haven't talked about Riot in quite a bit of time, have we? Zoom out a little bit. All right. So, let me put those moving averages back on. Whoa, looks weird to not have them on here. All right. So, I mean, the death crosses have already kind of come for this one. We've had that golden cross. Usually when it comes to Riot, for me, moving averages have kind of always led the way here, just like with Bitcoin, because they work really well with Bitcoin. They're usually going to work very well for Riot, right? Excuse me, guys. Over the next year or so, I'm pretty sure we're going to have a breakdown below this. That's when I'm probably going to short the crap, buy tons of options against Riot. But over the next few months, really, if you're looking for Bitcoin to have that next breakout, you're hoping for some type of consolidation to break out from here. I don't like Riot as much when it comes to technicals because you always have to look at it through like a lens of cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. And part of the reason is you get stuff like this. The real trend line was that. And normally you're supposed to break out to retest, then keep on moving up. This doesn't necessarily do that as much as I would like to, right? And I like to buy breakouts primarily me or buy major levels of support. Now, if we go back over here to the weekly chart, you'll see we broke out. There was 2 good weeks of breaking out, and then all of a sudden we kind of teetered back off. Options wise, you're normally okay with those types of moves unless you're being greedy, because of course, if I were to play this like any other time, Fibonacci levels are usually pretty darn good to go with, depending on what you're looking at, right? Price target 1, price target 2, or you can move it up higher and hope for something much better, which in this case, it never came. All right. Now, what I'm looking for here this time is go. I don't have anything snapped on, and then I'm just hoping we can get back up here towards 22 bucks. That's over 100% increase. I don't think it's happening anytime soon, but I can see us at least trying to get back up here to 15 bucks. This is with log off. Normally you're not going to have that. What I'm also going to do here very fast is you're still looking really far off, okay? I mean, this is the same thing actually. It's just pushing that log off button. But right here very fast. It's broken down. It's looking for its first level of support. I don't really feel comfortable trading this either way. Really, you're going to be looking for Bitcoin to really take the lead here on this, but go over to the 15-minute chart. Actually, let's clear out everything. 2-hour chart. You can see this overall downtrend. Once you start breaking out above that, I'd feel much more likely to buy options. Those options would be something like $12 strike price options, expiring 2 to 3 weeks out, and then having fun with those. Primarily, though, you're going to be stuck day trading this for a minute until you have a breakout of some type. And usually for that, now we go back up to the 15-minute chart. You're waiting for those breakouts to occur. But because, in a shitty way, I guess you would say, because this is not 24/7 like a cryptocurrency and things like that, sometimes the big moves happen, right? During pre-market or post-market hours. And if that's the case, sometimes you won't be able to get into your options position, so you just have to be more aware that, hey, if you missed the opportunity to buy, you missed it. It's okay. There's always another opportunity. Don't risk getting a bad price, especially if the price of Bitcoin or another asset's going to be really fluctuating. Like, bloop, bloop, bloop. All right. Bitcoin mining for America, I don't know, the price is always kind of revolved around Bitcoin. I think we all know that. However, as far as a long-term investment, it's something that I would definitely dollar cost average into over time. And maybe looking at some longer options plays. But I think if I go back over here to Livestream, let me historical flow. No, yeah. Let's go historical. Let's go last Let's just go last few days. Keep those there. Max historical dark flow pool. That was the max dark pool. I don't know about that. Okay. Uh, you have a call, two calls that were bought 2 days ago, which was my brain's kind of fried right now. So that was Monday. I'm sorry. Two calls bought Monday, 1042 spot, 1074 spot, 1050 strike, $10 strike. And we are at bloop, $9. So they're just hoping for a dollar pop. And they're hoping for that dollar pop really about 10 seconds. They're hoping for it by tomorrow. Wow. Yeah, so the first one, no, sorry, not tomorrow, Friday. The second one's 1020. This one seems much more reasonable than this one. This one seems like they're expecting Bitcoin to keep going higher and higher and higher, while this one was more of a reasonable person at a $10 strike price. The price was a little bit higher, I guess you could say. But yeah, they were buying that in the money. How'd this one turn out? Yeah, I bought it at 48 cents and now it's at 2. I should tell you everything you need to know right now. But again, you see this price action here. There's a chance they were just day trading here, and they maybe found a way to buy it at 47 cents, 45, or at 48 cents, and maybe they sold it at 69. So maybe they were just day trading it here. Day traders usually like this. The put here 10.3, which was bought yesterday with 8.50. That one probably doing a little bit better. Bought it at 33 and it's at 29. No, they just killed this one too. Wow. But again, maybe they were day trading it, especially with those low amounts of money, because it did go from 33 up to 40. So yeah, I mean, these might just be day trades here as far as I'm seeing, because the volume wasn't too much. This one was in the money. This one's definitely being held for a longer period of time. But even this one, they bought it at $1.31, close to the highs of the price, and now it's at 40 cents. I'm still pretty sure this one's going to make money if they don't sell. But I mean, it's a painful experience to buy right there, which is why normally when you're doing this type of stuff and you're doing calls, you have to be very careful where you actually open up your positions. And you want to buy a little bit here, buy a little bit there. But I mean, they invested $32,000 into it. This probably isn't their first rodeo, or they're really waiting for something to happen down the road here, which is understandable because this is a block trade here. And dark pool data, just one. Oh, zoom out here, don't I? Volume 10.7 million shares at 0.01. Wait, what? Bid 890, ask 891 for whatever reason. That's broken right there. Maybe because not many Riot things are traded here on from establishment bankers and stuff. But yeah, short term, I would actually see it being okay. Long term, medium term, you're probably going to see it come down a little bit more. Long term, definitely up though. And hey, Caveman, happy to see you back as always. I need to have more catchphrases to say when you guys say hello to me. How am I feeling about how far do you think about Bitcoin will go down before we see a bottom? It all depends on if we really go into recession, which I think we will. If that's the case, I could see Bitcoin going back down to like $12,000 or something like that. Oops, wrong one. Oh, geez, look at the banks that crashed too. Banks are just not doing hot at all. Okay. This is the right one? Okay, yeah, okay. So, full screen. Okay, there we go. So as far as I'm concerned, Bitcoin's had a pretty nice hump here so far. We've been doing okay. There's still an opportunity for Bitcoin to move higher. We've had our first monthly death cross here, which is kind of confusing because we don't know exactly what's going to happen there, just like with the moving averages last time. However, there are a couple of things you could do. I guess we can't make it full screen because I need all those tools. Oh, I got them over here, don't I? See, This is why we have them, but I always forget that. No, because I need the magnet. Yeah, I need the magnet tool. If you kind of go off of this, you might be looking at something more like 11,000 before you find a really 11,382, whatever. It's like 11,400 before you find a really strong level of support. If you manage to break down, I'm trying not to be that bearish here because I'm still like, how bad is this recession? So far, I think we're still, at least in my point of view, we're in like a moderate to bad recession. I don't think that's necessarily enough to push Bitcoin back down like really, really like maybe you think that 11,000, 12,000 is crazy levels, but really like much past that. The only way I think we start going back to 10,000 because the economy's been okay is if the financial system itself really starts to buckle from all this overspending and us not being able to afford it, endless wars, stuff like that our country just really can't handle. Dysfunction in government, dysfunction in the White House, dysfunction in the bureaucracy, all of it just dysfunction, right? Um, that might happen. I'm not gonna think that it is gonna happen. We'll have to wait and see. But kind of around that $12,000 level. Go back over here a little bit more now. Actually, for now, let's do one last thing here. Bloopity bloopity bloop. So Fibonacci extension coming back down. 12,635 would be a good level. 10,000, it just seems a little too extreme for me, but I think I can add one more in here between these two. That might be an okay one. So this one? No. Never mind, I'm not even going to try. I hate doing this Fibonacci's on adding different lines to it. Really, 12, 13,000, I think it's fair enough. What we've normally been doing here as far as long-term projections, which is always very difficult, is you could add GAN boxes, GAN fans, all types of stuff. But, what I found that works best for me is usually some type of Fibonacci retracement system. We can see that one right there, right? And this one kind of pops down to 11,523. You got different opportunities to do it. But let me just kind of move over here very fast. Let's lock this one. This one. Let me show you this first. Okay. Now you can see this kind of cluster right here. That's the one thing we just, under a lot of circumstances, we just can't break that. Okay. If we do, that really brings us back down to that $12,000 level here. And 12,000 looks like it'd be a decent level, but maybe it comes all the way down to 10,000. I'm hoping it doesn't. I don't think it would really come down to that level unless we had some catastrophic news about the economy, World War III started, like that type of stuff. Okay. But there's one thing that we can always do here to kind of change this up a little bit, and that's usually if it'll let me. Actually, maybe I should just cut all the drawings again. Let's restart. Okay. So these are all with log and stuff like that, but I don't want to actually turn the log chart on because it's too hard to figure out what's going on. If you want something more of a mild recession where things get a little bit bad and nobody's really happy with where we're going and stuff like that, you'd be more likely to find that type of stuff. Just back down here at the lower end, maybe 14,000, 15,000. Usually what I like to do though, and this is kind of hard to show. Which one was it? Was it 2? Or am I just like really off right now? No, okay, this is what we have to do. I hate doing this. Let's just get one on here so it doesn't look like such a cluster, you know what? Let's go 2, 4, 2.13 and then 2.14. Okay. And let's drag this up from here. No, it doesn't have an impact on it, yeah. I was hoping it might, but maybe because we're on the monthly chart. No, that should have an impact on it. Yeah, we're just not really anywhere close to any of those ones. I don't, unless I'm missing something here about the chart. Let's go to daily chart. Oh, yeah, okay. This was the lowest point here. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. I'm forgetting the basics at this point. You can see another one right here around 12,000, right? I guess 11,983. Below that's 8,000. I don't really see us having a reason to drop down below this. Maybe this will just make it more clear from a technical perspective. You might even want to move this down a little bit or something like that to maybe something like here. So we have those two levels of support right over there. I know this is kind of cluttered, so my bad. But I don't really see us having a reason to drop down below 10,500. At the higher end, 13,725. That middle zone seems perfectly fine for me. Now, again, I'm giving myself a lot of leeway because I am no perfectionist when it comes to this. I'll be loading up, as long as we're in this level, I'll be loading up on all types of positions because you're going to see all types of crazy things happening. That's if we go into recession, if bad things start to happen, though. We have this death cross here, but it doesn't really seem to be doing anything at this point, right? Nothing. Now, these things usually, like, in hindsight, they're like, oh, yeah, that was really bad in hindsight. But for now, all this volatility, we're doing okay, right? We're in this nasty trend where no matter what we do, we just literally can't get out of it, which it sucks, but, what are you going to do? And, gives us ample opportunity to make some day trades and stuff. But really, just 12,000 is that golden zone where I'm just like, really like, oh, yeah, let's get down there and I'll start loading up like crazy. Even if it, for whatever reason, went to $9,000, I would still be holding my positions that I bought at 12,000, if that makes sense. Because I told you guys this a long time ago. I've been loading up for so long. I mean, I started buying like around here. The death cross came. I bought a lot right here. I bought a lot right here. I bought a lot right here. Bought some right there. Bought some right here. Bought some right there. Bought some right here. I mean, the average is really only about 22,000. Now, technically, the average is a little bit lower because I've been more aggressive with my buying at these levels, so maybe it's close to like $20,000. But still, the average is what's helping me out. The average. That's what I'm hoping for. That's why I tend to buy stuff like STMX and things like that that are kind of volatile when they're really low, because eventually they kind of pop up like crazy. There we go. All right. What's up, Mike? It's been a minute. What are your thoughts on PayPal? PayPal. So I'm not the happiest about PayPal, and that's just because I think about the people that use PayPal during an uncertain economic period. What happens to all those people that are kind of using PayPal for everyday things? I use PayPal every now and again for paying people for thumbnails for my videos, which I guess I don't do much more anymore. I just got Microsoft Office. I use PayPal for that. But, if I'm somebody that got laid off and stuff like that, there's less transactions going through, less payments, less fees. And PayPal doesn't make fees as much as you would think, right? If I send money over to a friend and it's not business related, there's no fee for that. But if I move money from my PayPal account over to my bank account, there's a fee for that. If I do the, what's it called? The instant transfer, which I always do instant transfers every single time. Because I don't want to wait the 3 to 5 business days or whatever for the money to move in there. I think the revenue is going to start coming down even more. One of the things, I think I actually looked at this the other day. Let me go back over here very fast. Give me a second here. Um, so I went over to ChatGPT very fast, and I used this tool that we've been using for the past few days. And it's a plugin. It's a plugin called BB.ai, and I just told it to check out the last PayPal earnings and tell me the warning signs, what the warning signs are for the company. I did this once. I don't think it was BBAI. I think it was another one, another plugin on this one. Um, but that long story short, growth is an issue here. And then as we're kind of waiting for that to kind of give me all the information there. If we go over here to PayPal, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Zoom out just a little bit. You can see so far the last few months they've been getting some downgrades. Now, this is $75 price target. This one's at $65. The one above it initiated October 2nd, which was just a couple days ago. $100 price target. Right now, the current price is $58. They are all above where we currently are, but nowhere near where it technically is, right? Here we go. All right, points to consider. Macroeconomic uncertainty. The company mentioned uncertainty in the global macroeconomic environment. This could mean that they are preparing for the potential economic downturns or other challenges that could affect their business. That's the big kahuna. Okay. Credit business pressure. PayPal acknowledged that there is pressure on the credit card business and expects it to continue in the later half of the year. This could be a sign that the financial performance in this area might not be as strong as desired. Lack of specific metrics. While PayPal highlighted the revenue momentum and customer engagement trends, they did not provide specific metrics or growth rates. This makes it difficult to gauge the company's overall performance and could be a red flag. If it was good news, they'd be yelling from the rooftops. They would be yelling from the rooftops. Competitive threats. The earnings call did not address any competitive threats or potential obstacles in the market. Not discussing these could be a concern. I'm not really worried about that. We know there's Venmos and Twitter's coming along. That's the big threat for me if I was PayPal. But overall, I want to say it's like the worst thing here. And then cost management. The company emphasizes the need for effective cost management and operating expenses, OPEX reductions. I rarely say OPEX, but it's such a fun word to say. OPEX makes you sound fancy or Wall Streety. This could indicate financial constraints or focus on improving profitability, which might be a sign that all is not well. Basically means they might have layoffs incoming. That's usually what it means. And I'm not going to go into a more comprehensive thing because that takes a while. But overall, I do think we're going to be coming down here as far as PayPal is concerned. Now, to go to your actual question, if I think they're going to be able to do something with crypto, no, not really. Honestly, their system kind of sucks. So this is PayPal stock on the monthly. Bull market stimulus, boom. Ever since then, just straight up crashing. Right. We had a few levels of support to see if we can hold on to it. No, we did not. Had a level of support over here. Can we hold it? No, we could not. There's really, from a monthly perspective, there's no real level of support here, okay? That's a really bad sign for this thing. And that's because when it moves up really high, like we talked about before, it can crash down very, very high as well. It needs to have proper consolidation periods, and it didn't have it. All right? Now, I don't even know how you try to justify what I'm about to do here. But, yeah, I don't know how you justify this. Okay. There's nothing like the next level of support on Fibonacci is 35. You want to drag this out over here, 27, drag it out over here. It's 50. That's close enough. We're at 58 right now. It's just, this is like the worst chart ever because it moved up so fast without having anything really good about it. Now, as far as crypto, like let me open up PayPal. I don't think I have any private information on that PayPal account. Oh, I'm not even logged in. Okay, hold on. Let me log into this. Okay, so PayPal is 0. I got a MasterCard. I got a Chase card. You can see all the cost I've been doing. I got paid from Lux Algo, paying for. Oh, I tested out the pay in 4 system. It's actually not bad. So they basically just like upfront you the money and you pay it back. You don't have to pay any fees on it as long as you actually pay it back. So if you aren't making a lot of money, or there's a chance you can't afford a $34 payment, don't do that, because the fees will eat you alive, from what I understand from using it. Instant card transfer, stuff like that. I use it fair enough, and you can see I just told you I did the Microsoft Corporation, and there's trading view right there. I'm waiting to do oh no, that's for a 24/7 stream, never mind. I'm excited for the next new holiday because I'm gonna have 60% off yearly plans for trading view again. But anyway, if you go over here to finances and stuff like this, or even maybe just for now wallet, but finances, this crypto section right here, about it, PayPal, USD, Bitcoin. I don't know what I'm doing with this, right? Even if I go to wallet, no, I don't have money in my wallet. It's not, it's not nothing about this looks appealing to me. Use PayPal to buy Ethereum on MetaMask. It's simple and seamless. Like, it just doesn't look good. So like, I can go over to I just feel like there's better ways to put your money into cryptocurrency. I don't see many prices and stuff like that. They're too compliant with imaginary bureaucratic rules. They don't want to be sued by the SEC basically, so they're not doing anything important. Meanwhile, if you go to crypto.com, I think it was, right? I think I have an account with them, but I haven't touched this thing in years. I was just trying to see what was going on with it. This is more, this is more of what I am looking for when it comes to putting money into crypto and letting it sit, or just being able to buy something like, right, prices. I don't know how much I can buy in crypto, but they're just so far behind. It's just that they're just so far behind. I don't know if they have the resources to justify it. Maybe I could say, oh, I think I got rid of ChatGPT. Let me put it back on here. All right. What did they say about their crypto side of their business? Excuse me. Maybe that might be worth looking into. But man, they've just been behind the curve, right? You mean? Let me give some thought to it. It's just, yeah, I just don't see. Interestingly, the most recent earnings call for PayPal did not specifically mention their crypto business. However, they did discuss various initiatives and plans that could potentially relate to their crypto endeavors. AI-driven initiatives. This is just because they wanted to get their stock up, saying AI, AI, AI. Everybody is doing it. It's the craze. I don't know if you guys listen to earnings calls, but if you guys listen to them, it's all about AI, AI, AI. Digital wallet enhancement. That could be something cool. The company is focusing on enhancing their digital wallet, which includes various features like deals and offers, flexible payments, post-purchase features, fraud alerts, rewards, cashback, and package tracking and savings account. Nothing really there screams crypto to me. Payment service provider, high margin, value added services, multi-year agreements. Like, you know how many offers we all get when it comes to savings accounts? Why would I choose PayPal savings? Like, let me go over here to PayPal. Oh, shit, did I close my... I closed so many accounts when I didn't mean to do so. All right, PayPal. Not Paya. What? Oh, payment solution. I don't know. PayPal. finances. Get 4.3% APY. That's 9x the national average. Meanwhile, you know, where I usually keep my money is that's not all of it, but part of it. Let me go back over here very fast. Bitcoin 15. I got to think about it for a second. I got to think about it. Oh, that's the name. I don't know why I forgot it, but oh, I probably should keep it there. Well, basically, I keep mine at Marcus, kind of around the same number, but the whole vibe of this app is just better than the vibe I get from PayPal, right? I feel like PayPal, something wrong is going to happen when I use it. I know there's nothing wrong going to happen, but it just feels like it. Whereas if I'm with Goldman Sachs or another company who's giving good interest rates, it just feels better. Even though Goldman Sachs isn't really doing too hot with that actual program that they're running, but heck, I'll take the interest payments, right? But yeah, PayPal just needs to upgrade their entire system, their entire app, the feel of it to modernize a little bit more, and they just haven't been able to keep up with that desire from me, and I'm only one person, right? But we've already another half trillion in debt from that 33 trillion record 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the system is going to fall apart, but when? How long can we be like? We may be talking about $50 trillion to $60 trillion debt within a few years, like it's normal or something, okay? But if we can keep on printing, you know, it's hard to say when it all comes tumbling down. And when it all comes tumbling down, the whole world will just kind of be thrown into chaos because of it. And we'll all be holding Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin will soar as the dollar crashes, right? But how much will that dollar go? How much will we be able to buy for, right? So it's going to be a weird process here going forward. Like the whole system is intertwined. So what happens with those other currencies as well against the dollar, things like that? Because if America goes down, Europe's going to be in a lot of chaos too. Even stuff like Russia, China, they'll all be in the chaos because maybe Russia not as much as China. China, we buy a lot of shit from China. And all of a sudden, that chaos is going to spread like wildfire. But we just don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be chaotic. And hey, Daily Pizza. Yeah, GameStop is a complicated thing. I'm not too good at trading it. I usually trade with the moving averages on it, so... Did I get rid of the moving averages again, or they're just so high because it yeah. Right? Moving averages, woo! Moving averages, woo! Moving averages, woo! Moving averages. I mean, somehow ended up being woo, but that's freaking insane. Moving average here, tiny woo. Usually how I like to do it, but then sometimes you get random crazy stuff like this where it gaps up and all of a sudden the lag is so crazy. Even right here, didn't work out properly. I mean, it broke down. I mean, I wouldn't touch this thing until it starts hitting, I guess it's actually pretty close to that one. This buying zone between 1437 and about 1167. This thing's breaking down. You're seeing the moving averages have a death cross here on the monthly. Weekly, oh yeah, this weekly death cross is here. Look at those things screaming down. And might have been able to hold support here, but not even. Usually a third time is when it fails, but you have to have hope with something like this. I mean, tomorrow you could have a breakout and you could have some fun day trading this thing, maybe to 1550 options if they allow it. But besides that, I mean, this thing's just coming down bit by bit. Remember, this thing was hoisted up by, Wall Street bets type of crowd and things like that. Unless you see some type of really bullish technical setup, it's best just to wait because even the support levels aren't holding, and you can see on that weekly chart, death cross, death cross, death cross. Might not really want to buy until $12, honestly. I mean, you got some old support right here, but this zone is going to be something I'd be much more happy to look at, especially with these moving averages. It gives it more time to actually have that reversal there. So I might buy this around $12 since it hasn't been able to hold support. But I mean, I'd have to put a lot of faith in it that it'd be able to hold this support here. This has not been going GameStop's way, and whether you hate them or love them or whatever, when you talk about GameStop, get rid of that. It's been very weird to kind of see this play out. So October 2nd, a couple days ago, General Counsel and Secretary and Interim PFO, whatever that is, they're selling off shares. You got the director buying some up at $17, and now it went from 17 to 15. I doubt they're making any money off of that. Patel, he's selling off millions of dollars worth of shares in July. I mean, I'm actually surprised people have been buying this as far as the company is concerned, director. Yeah, why is he buying this? I have no idea. Executive chairman, 10 million. They must be trying to save this or something. They must really be trying to make this go pop so they can sell off again. Downgrade. I mean, like $6, $10, $30, $29, $30. It's not looking the best. And highshortinterest.com. This is usually where you guys find those big squeezes that happen every now and again. Novex, Inc. Biotech, 50% short interest. Canva, Beyond Meat, Upstart. I mean, GameStop really isn't even high up here, is it? Yeah, not. Oh, there it is. 20%. Doesn't even have a crazy amount of short interest, but I think everybody just, nobody wants to lose as much money as those hedge funds that were shorting it back in the day, right? MicroStrategy Inc., Bullfrog AI Holdings, Microvision Therapeutics, and stuff like that. I mean, whatever this Invax one is, it seems like that's the one that everybody seems to be going after. Oh yeah, it's down 4% today, 5 years. Yeah, it's been coming down a little bit more, huh? Oh well. And hey, yeah, it's definitely been taking quite a bit. Yeah, no worries, Alex. Happy to help you guys out. But okay, everybody, I'm gonna call it a night. I gotta go give Loki some food here. He's having the hiccups or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, he's making noises. I think he's just tired. But before we go to bed, and well, not bed. I gotta make food because I haven't eaten today. Shit, I haven't eaten today. I've had tea. I'll let you guys see Loki. I don't know if he wants to come up though. Oh, wow. Yeah, there you go. As he scratches my shirt as he goes down. But okay, buddy. It was fun talking with you guys for a couple hours. I don't know how long I've been live. I've been live for 2 hours. Pretty good time. Okay, pretty good time. All right, I'll see you guys later.